Hello and welcome to Cracking the Cryptic. Now today I'm going to look at a puzzle that's been sent to us by Julian Locke, who often comments our videos. Now Julian's particular request here is that we try and solve it without using notation, by which he means pencil marks and indications. Only filling in complete numbers when we're certain is what I think he means. So I'm going to have a go at that, and then after I've done it, hopefully, then I shall say what I think of that request. So this could be interesting. So anyway, let's have a look at this puzzle now. 7s and 8s there, can't be resolved along there. 6s coming down here, yes, that's 6. There's already a 6 in columns 1 and 2, that's where it must be in 3. That fixes this 6, and that's where the chain of 6s stop. 1s down here, they're quite profitable, and that's interesting because we had, oh no, that gives us a 1 here. Okay, sorry, not the reason I thought it was interesting. And that 1 peters out there as well. One of those is a 3. I'd normally make a note about that. 2, 7, 9, 4, 3, 5. Now this puzzle is apparently a diabolically graded one from the Italian national newspaper Corriere della Sera, so it's probably going to be pretty difficult, and I mean, I'm not that concerned. Look, this cell, the only possibility is a 4 given what's in its rows and columns. 6, 2 must be there or there, 2 must be there or there. 6 could be there or there, that's 9. 4, 8, 6, 9, 1, 2, 7, 4, 8, 6, 1. These two must be 5 and 3 in some order, because they're the only possibilities given, again, what's in the box and the column. 8, 1, 6, so that makes this one a 9. 7 and 4 must be down here to complete the row. That makes this 2. These are 1, 9 in some order. 2, 4, 7. So I'm effectively at the moment doing what I would do with notation in my head. We can finish off this central row now. And that allows us to finish off the central box as well. This must be 2, 6, and this must be 3, 4. And it hasn't been simple, but it hasn't seemed very diabolical yet. That must be a 4 because there must be a 4 in that row. 9, 7 here, 5, 6, 4. That makes these two 3 and 8. And these two are 1 and 2. That's a 7. That's the only possibility now. 9, 1 are fixed there. That's a 6. 5, 3, 1, 8. Can't resolve those. 9, 7, 6, 2, 3. No, can't do anything else there. This must be the 8 in column 3. That has to be a 3 now. Is that helpful? Not totally. Does feel like I'm closing. This cell, the only possibility for that cell is a 5. Bit of cell logic instead of the normal array logic. That puts the 6 in column 9 up here. And these two must be 9 and 8, so that must be in that order. I think that must get us to the finish now, I would have thought. Just hopefully finishing off numbers now. That's a 1, this is a 9. Try and not make a mistake as I go through the remainder. 9 and 6, 1, 5. Oh, not quite finished there. Okay, that's 4, that's 9. That's 4. That's 8. So I have to admit, this didn't seem very diabolical, but possibly Corriere della Sera's standards are a bit difficult from what we're normally used to. It seemed reasonably straightforward to me as a puzzle. And to be fair, I think this finishes it off. To be fair to Julian, he did say in his email that this was not too difficult to do without notation. And I think his aim was to encourage us to do puzzles without notation. But what I say about that is it's a very peculiar way to think that Sudoku puzzles ought to be solved. I can see that there's a way in which it feels slightly purer, not to be messing up the diagram with pencil marks, but I can't see that it's in any way a more sensible method of going about Sudoku, or in some way gives a better solve. I mean, to me, the analogy I thought of this morning was, it's like asking a footballer to play only using his right foot. Well, sure, he could play a football match that way, and in some ways it might be a purer form of playing, but it wouldn't improve his game. There's no doubt about that. It wouldn't be what everybody else does. There is a form of football in which you're allowed to use both feet, and to come up with a special method in which there's a restriction seems to me very strange. I do remember that in one of the early, about the second time Nina Pell won the Times Sudoku Championship, somebody wrote a letter to the paper the next day to say, well done, Nina, and I came runner-up to you the first time you won it. But what I now do is solve Sudoku without making any pencil marks, and I'd like to challenge you to a contest of that form. And that really angered me, because it's like, again, it's like saying to a chess player, well, you're very good at chess, but I've been practicing for years playing chess without rooks, and I think I'd beat you at that, so let's have a game. It wouldn't prove anything. It would just prove that that's what you've specialized in. So I'm afraid, Julian, in general, we reject the call to solve without notation. It's something that we think helps us, it helps everyone. Crucially, it's allowed in competition, and therefore you'd be deliberately handicapping yourself in competition not to use it. I don't think there's a need for another competition which has Sudoku without notation, because people would find ways around that anyway. And I just don't think it's particularly more interesting or valid than solving Sudoku with notation. So there, I've said it. I hope you're not offended. I know that you make comments on other videos about whether they can be solved with or without notation, but I'm afraid I just don't think they're useful. Sorry. But thank you for sending in this puzzle. Certainly worth trying it. As you suggested, it wasn't too hard to do without notation. A lot of harder puzzles could be done without notation, but they'd involve kind of your brain having to think more like a chess player several moves ahead and hold certain things in its head. And I think they're more easily done written down, or at least pencil marked in on a computer. So there we go. That's solving without notation. Hope you enjoyed the video. You certainly got the benefit of my views, and I'm seriously grateful for Julian writing, even if I don't agree with him, and we hope to encourage more debate on Sudoku and indeed crosswords in this channel. Actually, the analogy with crosswords is quite good. A lot of people solve crosswords using a dictionary, and that's fine. That's up to them. That's what they like to do. But there are competitions, and competitions don't allow you to use a dictionary, so that seems to me to be the more natural way to go about crosswords. I seriously don't object to people learning words from dictionaries and learning how to solve crosswords from dictionaries. I just don't think that they should describe themselves as competitive solvers using a dictionary, because that would be a different form of competition. So thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you again on Cracking the Cryptic, and bye for now.